Hey everybody, it is Monday. Typically we would say it's from the barracks, but no, we're back to doing our special Q&A episodes about Bad Blood 2023. With me is the man with the ideas, these two guys right up here, Moondog and Sonic. And we're gonna go over some Q&A about Bad Blood, answer some questions, go over some rules, and I guess we'll go ahead and do it this way. I'm Joker from Players Wanted. That's Moondog. I'm usually up there, sir. That's Moondog. That's Sonic from New York Airsoft, right? And Moondog from Moondog Industries.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
Look, it's been a year and I still remember. All right. So let's talk a little bit. Take it away, Moondog. What is Bad Blood 2023?
Oh, okay. Thanks, Joker. So Bad Blood 2023 is it's the 15th running of this game, and this is a charity airsoft event that we've been running on the East Coast. Half of the proceeds are going to the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, and we're really proud about that. We've raised well over $50,000 for that charity, and we'll be looking forward to donating a big check for them at the end of this year. The game's a little different. It's a milsim light game, where that means that we try to incorporate concepts and some rule sets from milsim, but it really is intended to be an intro game for a lot of new players who are either new to airsoft or new to milsim, and relaxing some of the rule sets and that you'd have in a full hardcore milsim game, such as we allow you to use high cap magazines, which just about every milsim game doesn't. But it's all based on a sort of a realistic real life scenario. I wrote the game years ago, and wrapping around a civil war in a fictional, well, it's a real country in Africa, but a fictional Ebola outbreak that sets off a civil war. And the real idea behind the game is I wanted a game where it would have multiple factions playing against each other rather than a typical, A versus B or green versus tan kind of game. This game has 5 different groups, 4 player factions plus an NPC faction that are fighting each other at all times. And also wanted a game that ran for pretty much the whole day. We're going to be starting at 10 o'clock in the morning, going all the way until about 4:30 in the afternoon, weather permitting, because it does get hot out there. Afterwards, there is just an epic legendary raffle. And I won't say that some people just come out for the raffle, but once you've experienced the raffle, you kind of feel like, yeah, some people might just come just for the raffle. But
I will tell you this: it's like $60 this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's going to be June 20. You can't see the graphic behind us, but it's June 24th through the 25th at EMR Event Park in Milford, Pennsylvania. It's where you guys have been having it for many years running now.
Yeah,
and that raffle for $60 is probably your best bang for your buck to win something. Because
you get something coming out. Yeah,
if you win one item, that is probably double, or the values are usually double or triple.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Easily. So, and look, I redeemed myself last year. I did not break a single thing I racked. I'm just saying.
True. For those of you who are tuning in or who haven't didn't hear about that from a few years ago, but there was an incident where it was an innocent.
I racked one gun and the thing comes it just keeps going.
It just came apart. So there you go.
All right, so we want to go ahead and say hi to a few people. Mark Thomas says, "Hey, Moondog." MacPhee said he was the first commenter on YouTube, but not the first one on Twitch.
Yes.
Let's see here. Joker must have 10 clothes for how many events he attends. Wish I did. Do you have a rough estimate on the number of camping spots and Deuce X spots available?
That I do not. The camping, I should explain, this is at EMR Event Park, which is a huge paintball and outdoor events field north of Scranton, Pennsylvania. They also have LARP out there, and what is it? I forget the term for it. HEMA, that's it. Medieval martial arts tournaments there. So it's a really interesting space. Then they have campsites and they're not barracks. They're lodge houses. Cabins. Thank you very much. I was reaching for that word there, but I don't handle any of that, and I haven't heard from Tim, who's the manager of the park, any scuttlebutt as to whether or not how many spaces are left. So you'll have to check with EMR.
To answer the question is, if you're interested in a camping spot or a cabin spot, you have to reserve it all through EMR themselves. We don't have anything to do with that. So it's a first come, first serve thing. It's not expensive in the grand scheme of things.
That's why they go.
So if you want it, do it right now. Like if you want to camp on site, do it right now, because hotels are going to be booked up if they're not already booked up. Anything even remotely close up. My guys and I, we stay 45 minutes away, and we like it that way, but it's still 45 minutes away.
Yeah. What did Jackson City, or is it Jackson?
Dixon City.
Dixon City. Thank you.
Yeah, that's where we stay. But yeah, if you want to be on the field for the whole weekend, you got to do it now, or you're not getting in.
So I do want to address that Cordello is actually sitting inside the green room here.
Oh, let's bring him in.
So I brought Cordello in, but he has no camera on right now. He's hiding. He's being shy.
I'm cleaning up from a bunch of kids. Oh, now it's on the wrong way. Oh, how do I turn this camera around?
You're being such a dad.
Now, I admit this is one of my guys, so that kind of tells you a lot, but
Hey.
What's up, Cordello?
What's up, guys? Having two has been a rock to my world.
Since you're joined on, you know what? Let's continue on with introductions, which we didn't get to start off with. Joker had started kind of introducing me. I'm Moondog. I'm the creator of Operation Bad Blood and the founder of NYC Airsoft and Moondog Industries. I'm now basically a YouTuber. I was an advertising guy in Madison Avenue, and the pandemic really did a ringer on a lot of businesses, including advertising. But so I've started doing a lot of YouTube reviews. So check out my channel, Moondog Industries, Moondog Reviews, and Moondog Go on YouTube, and also on TikTok. And I've been producing and organizing this event since it started 15 years ago. And on my screen to my right, we have Sonic, who's been my co-producer for quite a number of years. How many years has it been?
Too many.
Finally, let me yell at people. Maybe 8 years ago.
There we go.
About that, yeah. So yeah, I'm Sonic. I've been going to Bad Blood since 2013. Been helping to run it since 2015, 2016. Right before we moved locations from our old place.
Yeah, this was in Hudson Valley, New York.
Right.
We started the event there.
I am everybody's worst nightmare on the field, because I'm the on-field rule keeper and the infamous castle evictor. So yeah, you'll see me all day long trying to wander around, making sure everybody's safe, having a good time, following the rules. If there's any questions or any concerns that come up, injuries when they happen, because they will happen. And I try and just be as omnipresent as I can, and usually fail miserably.
No, he doesn't.
Hey, last year I couldn't get out of the southwest corner.
Yeah, because you're dealing with all the stuff.
I couldn't get out of there. Yeah. My only respite was I went and visited Ginger Bear a few times in his hidey hole. I'm not going to give it away because they're going to use it again this year.
Okay.
I got to visit Ginger Bear a couple times and get some shade. But other than that, I couldn't get out of the Southwest, and I had no idea what was going on. It was killing me. So I recruited help this year to take over spots of the field I can't get to quickly. So I'll be out there driving people crazy.
Are you okay, Cordello?
I thought that was your avatar you're setting that up as your avatar.
No, I'm going to be okay in a little bit. It's been I came home to chaos, and I'm just trying to get order back in. I just finished cleaning the living room. I'm
Okay.
thank you muted me because
Yeah,
there's
you're
a lot
making
of
a lot of
puffing
noise.
and puffing.
We got you.
So you're up next, Cordello, to introduce yourself, but I guess you're still making yourself drinks.
Yeah.
Oh no, I can make myself a drink and talk.
Hey, very good. So, Cardello, why don't you let the folks know? Well, of course, obviously, your call sign's Cardello. Let us know. Tell the folks how many years have you been playing in Bad Blood and your role this year?
So my very first Bad Blood was Ian was the CO of the Marxists under Roman.
Nope, never been a CO. I've always been an embed.
Embed, whatever you were. You yelled at me. That's all I remember. And Roman shot me in the butt because I didn't charge. And that was it. I'm like, I'm in love with this. That was what? 12?
2013?
2013.
Yeah.
So that was the 1 year I went as a player. I think the following year you recruited me as an embed. I missed 1 year because of a torn calf. Actually, I missed 2 years because
you missed another year.
Yeah.
I missed for my accident in 2014 when I fell off a ladder.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then I tore my calf just before the next game. So I helped that people sign in, but I wasn't able to play.
You also missed it when you had one of your spawns come out. We were talking about kidnapping you. 2020.
Did I miss that? Did I miss 2020?
Or 2021. It was
It would have been 2021. Yep.
Yeah, you missed 2021 because we were talking about coming up there and kidnapping you.
Oh yeah.
And bringing you to the game.
Yeah. As you see, the fatherhood thing has hit me real hard.
So
But this
for
is
you
it. This
folks,
is like the one game I make this year.
good. We're counting on you. And so for a few folks out there who've been playing for a few years, we're always on the lookout for good, responsible staff. And as you can see, guys who have a good spirit and good attitude, positive, fun attitude, really just
Good
looking to make sure that everybody plays
maybe.
safe and have fun.
And if you guys don't know who I am by now, I'm Joker with Players Wanted. I started going to Bad Blood back in 2019, running across the field, having a kick butt time doing stuff. I'm trying to watch the language, It's not just
we're not going to get. Are we going to get in trouble from the streaming gods for the alcohol?
That you know what? Maybe, but it's okay. Let's see. Have we been demonetized already? But I've been coming out to Bad Blood. It's one of the ones that I bring that I tell everybody you have to go to at least one. Now, this might not be everybody's cup of tea with the way the gameplay goes and everything else like that, but I have an immense amount of fun at this particular event every single year I go. And it's one of those things where you just have to make sure that when you're going to the event, you pay attention to the rule sets so you can maximize the amount of fun that you have. Okay, so there's a couple of things that went on there. Captain Tubbs said this is going to be his first Bad Blood.
Oh, well,
look forward.
Great.
Tubbs, you better be Marxist so Solitan, brother, because you got to run with me instead of crushing me against the.
Excuse me. The black shirts is Limo's black shirts, and that's where it's at.
Last time I checked, the black shirts got knifed all hell last year.
So to Captain Tubbs, just my advice: make sure you read that player packet and ask any questions. Really, ask any. There are no dumb questions, especially if this is the whole point of this Q&A.
Yeah. What's up, Andrew? What's up, Smurf? Let's see here. All right. So, hi. Question. Got a question. Can we bring our own BBs? There's a limit how much we can carry and weight limit.
Yes, you absolutely can bring your own BBs. It doesn't matter what weight of BBs you use. I mean, so long as they're not steel BBs. We will use our own staff BBs at the chrono stations, but we want you to bring full magazines. Well, we're going to top off your magazines because if you're going to be using a high cap or some other or box mag or something, you have to have most of your reservoir filled for it to cycle through properly and feed into your machine, to your gun. So we want you to have it pretty near full, and then we'll just top it off with enough BBs so we can chrono your gun.
And this is not a hardcore milsim event where you're limited in amount of magazines or type of magazines you can bring. If you can carry it, you can bring it. We honestly don't care. You're going to see guys out there with pistols that have been HPA tapped. So if it's yours and it works, and it's within the rules, you can use it. You can bring it. You can hump it all day long. We're not going to stop you.
Now there is one caveat. It's got to be bio BBs.
Yes,
for the field.
They have to be bio BBs.
And you just gave probably Sin an aneurysm when he goes back and watches this, where you say, if you can hump it and you can bring it and it's whatever, it's going to be able to go. You realize how many people bring their own homebrew guns. You realize,
yes,
hold on.
So
homebrew pew-pews.
Yes, it's perfectly fine to have a modified commercial airsoft gun, but don't bring something that you kludge together. I try
and say a lot. You're gonna want your most stable replica. No Franken guns, nothing that you whipped up in your basement from a 3D printer. It's got to be a real, off the shelf AEG, HPA, whatever. And yeah, that's really it. I'd make sure it works. I don't want to see lipos taped to a stock. That drives me crazy because you're gonna die. It's just bad. Your most stable, reliable thing, because you're going to be shooting all day long, full auto at 1,000 people. So you're going to want as much ammo as you can carry, and an AEG, I was going to say replica, that can handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we will play in the rain.
Oh yeah. The only thing that's going to stop us is lightning.
I'm putting my gun away.
Well, you never played in the rain?
With my gun? Absolutely not.
You have a lipo taped to the stock.
It'll melt.
No. I've already had it happen once before, and I'm not even kidding, where I decided to play. It was in the rain, and it fried my MOSFET. It got inside there.
Okay.
Gate tightened.
Yeah, fair enough.
So if it's raining, that gun goes away. I get another gun out. Or I just do what I did last year, which is walk around with a knife and get 153 kills, including... Wait, this...
There we go.
Cardello and I have played in many a rain game, and it's a whole nother animal, but it's fun. Oh, it's fun.
What was it? 3 or 4 years ago, we had a huge rainstorm during the briefing, and then it just cleared up, and actually no one left. Everyone was like, we're going for it anyway.
Yes.
Right. Oh, that was a humid day. Oh, that was the whole field was a swamp. But you know what? It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And
it cooled it off, though. It was humid, but the upside, it was a lot cooler game overall than some of the other ones. Hey, for what reason I'm seeing Cardello's... I mean, I know.
I don't know what he did with his phone, but he's all wonk.
He stretched.
I turned it up right. There we go.
There we go. All right.
That's better.
Let me try scrubbing my phone. It's kind of dirty.
If I can go back to Anson's question of, how many BBs can we take? BBs are great. Water's better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Last year we had, what was it? 12 heat casualties in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most of them were all on Mark's side.
Oh, and the other bit of advice, and the reason why we had so many heat casualties, don't party too hard the night before.
Marxist.
Yeah. So when we say drink liquids, those liquids should not be hard liquor the night before or whatever.
Seriously.
You're drinking. So
no neoprene. Don't wear neoprene sweaters because it happens to be tan. Go and buy a solid tan shirt from Walmart or something.
No weird body stockings. I saw a question on one of the Facebook groups about that. No, you cannot wear a body stocking and a chest rig.
Could I wear my fishnet outfit? It's black.
No. We want people to come back.
My morph suit is red. It's not tan.
No. That's the other thing, is that for folks who are coming out to the event, don't wear anything red. Like I remember somebody was asking about a mask, like a dye mask, a paintball mask, and don't wear a red mask or helmet. That I mean, you're just asking for trouble, because red is is everybody's dead rag color. So yeah, don't do that.
I remember the thread you're talking about, and I am all about safety first, obviously. And if it's what you got, it's what you got. We can make that work. But then I looked up what the player was asking about, and yeah, a lot of the plastic on it is red. And if it's what I'm thinking about, even the shield was like anodized red. So he's just going to be a walking dead rag, and that's not going to fly, because we can't cover his shield in duct tape.
Yeah.
But we'll make it work. Safety obviously is come first. If all you have is a dye mask and it doesn't match your faction, we'll deal with it. But
just get some colored tape and make it match your color
yellow
of your faction.
Because some of the admins out there are going to be wearing. We'll have some yellow. Like I know Moondog, you like a yellow vest. I like a red vest because the red stands out more in the green of the forests out there. But
it's the opposite color.
Yeah. Well, no,
green is the opposite of red.
Red and blue is the opposite of yellow.
I was talking about his thing where it was like when you said stands out in green.
Oh, okay. Sure, yeah. But
I did learn something.
Avoid neon yellow, avoid red, but just make sure you have adequate protection. The rule book is, if for those of you who are going to read the player packet, which is all of you, the rules are going to state in there that lower face protection and ear protection is required.
So don't wear. So don't get a neoprene mask for that.
Yeah, don't get a neoprene mask. It is required to have some kind of facial and ear covering. That being said, the rule kind of gets bent, but try and follow the rules.
I highly recommend it, because there is a lot of plastic flying all around.
The ear. I never thought much about the ear protection until I saw when we went full on years and years ago, when we had over 1,000 players, where BBs are literally coming from every single direction. Like, you're not looking at who's shooting you anymore. So something that is going to wrap around as best possible, go for it. Who cares if you don't look operator? Your ears and your teeth are a lot more important than looking cool.
My helmet's way over there. I love the one Tigris ones that the mesh goes all the way around and it covers up my ears.
Yeah.
Because I've been shot before right inside the inner ear, like right there.
Oh.
And it went stuck right in. I was like, oh. And that sucks the most, because especially when you're bleeding and everything else. Yeah. That's why I always wear the ones that go around here now, and it's around my mask. I was like, I don't care if I have my big goggles and the helmet, the whole 9 yards. People go, why do you wear all that? Because I like this part being, I like it to stay just this ugly. Okay, I don't want to get uglier.
We had a pretty good question just asked about if you are separated from respawn, how do you get back to it?
Simply put, the player packet explicitly states every player must have an FRS GMRS radio. That does not mean we want you asking where your friends are all the time. When's the pizza getting here? None of that nonsense. It is for emergencies and I'm lost help. So first thing you want to do is get on the horn and ask your squad, where are they? Hopefully somebody's going to have a map and they're going to give you a rough estimate of where they are on the field.
And you have a map.
Right, and you have a map too. If that doesn't work, you want to find the closest enemy embed. We all have these cool flags and armbands you're going to see in a few minutes. And he's going to get on the horn to one of his co-workers and find out where your guys are, and is going to point you in the right direction. You're never going to get lost out there, because there's always going to be somebody who's going to help you.
But you can even ask a bunch of enemy, where is blank, and they'll say, oh, they're just over there.
Yeah, the point is don't clutter up the radio with your nonsense. I say you're the general. That way, people who are lost can get their traffic through quickly and find out where to go, and keep the game from becoming a standstill. Because there's nothing worse than a bunch of people standing around. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? And then trying to point directions. Get your map out. Ask where you are. Or ask where they are. They'll tell you, and you move on. Put on your red rag. Start walking. It's that simple. If you get lost, find me, find Cardello, find Joker, and we'll point you in the right direction.
Just
And
to
no, I will not be wearing a Hawaiian shirt, guys. I'm not
Yeah,
running.
that's-
I'm on Marxist. Marxist for life.
Cardello,
you could get a tan one, but I want to piggyback on what Ian said too. It's really important to stay with your team. No lone wolfing. You lone wolf, you're not going to have fun. You're going to find out when you think you're doing great, and then 50 guns get trained on you. You get lit up. Mark has a disarming smile. That's how he's able to get away with what he does.
I don't know
This
what
year,
you're
I'm
talking
shooting
about.
him on sight, red rag or not.
Yeah.
But everybody else, don't lone wolf. It's not going to end well. You're not going to have fun. Stick with the team. It's the best way.
People are making fun of me saying no pizza, no pizza. You know what? You're right. There is no pizza. No
We did
pizza
that
place
once.
in New Milford will deliver to EMR. Don't ask me. Ask Timmy. They won't do it. But there's other food. But there's no pizza.
Yeah, Timmy follows through. Like last couple of years, there'll be at least 2 food trucks out there, and they're it's good grub.
There might even be some brisket.
Oh yes, I'm
Okay.
looking forward to that.
I'll have to go to the prison. Well, I'm going to the prison next week, in 2 weeks for our game, from our game Geigerland. So I'll pick up I'll bring home one of the electrical ones with me, one of the electric smokers. So there'll be brisket. That's if you lone wolf at this event, now what I'm thinking is that when the person asks that is maybe they had to go off the field, like I had to go off to put my pew away because we had so many heat casualties. That's the only reason why I didn't have a gun out there.
Or you need to switch out your gun because your gun, goes down,
or
battery,
whatever reason,
whatever.
like walking out there.
Refill
Pretty much,
water.
yeah. Hydrate. It's like one of the other thing that I think what I was going to recommend to Moondog and Sonic was ask a lot of the teams to have people bring and donate crates of water, cases of water. It's cheap. We could then drop them throughout the field, and then that way there's water drops all over the place, just in case somebody's,
I believe hydration stations are on the map. No,
they ran out fast.
Oh,
real
yeah,
fast.
that's a good point. That's a good point. Good point.
So
Yeah, we
if
didn't
there
have
was-
but we didn't have as many the other year.
Yeah.
This year he's learned from.
I'm just
from
saying
previous year.
that
Yes,
if there's a bunch of cases of water that are out there that are dropped and that people take some,
fair enough. Yes. Well, let's make that an announcement now. If
Now-
you
Go
can
ahead.
bring.
Unknown.
sorry.
There we go. Announcement.
Now, that being said, one thing I like to say about all airsoft games, especially at fields that aren't, owned by us or something like that, never assume anything. Bring what you're going to need. Don't assume that we're going to be able to provide it for you. Don't assume there's going to be water. Don't assume there's going to be food.
Yeah.
Yes, there is, but don't assume it. They could run out. The pipes could burst and there's no running water. Never assume it's going to be provided. Bring everything you're going to need and then bring more.
Yeah, that's true. There will also be we have at least 2 vendors out there for airsoft gear, but don't assume that you'll be able to buy more BBs or a battery for your AEG or and certainly not renting. But they're or a working air pump for your HPA tank if you're running that. Of course, there will be one. It's primarily a paintball field, but to Ian's point, be prepared.
This is going to be at EMR Event Park in New Milford, Pennsylvania, June 24th through the 25th. You can get your tickets at I had the link.
evic.com.
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up right now.
And New Milford is about halfway between Scranton, Pennsylvania, and where's that town?
Nowhere.
In New York.
Binghamton.
Binghamton, New York.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. I'll even say this when it comes down to donating cases of water. If you donate a case of water, you get a free you get some free brisket. Free brisket. Yep. I give you a little raffle ticket that you could take for the free brisket. So bring water, guys, so we can station it around, so that way people don't have. We literally had at the start of the game. I'm not even talking 20 minutes in. We had 10 heat casualties just on Marx's side. I think 2 of which had to go to the hospital, right? Or was it 4?
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
we had a lot more ambulance rides last year than I was happy with. So I don't want to see any personally.
Yeah.
But yeah.
One thing to add to it, I see everyone bring onto the field everything in the kitchen sink. This is a run and gun, no stop game. Bring your main gun, a backup battery or 2, ammo, and water. Don't bring your shotgun, your sidearm. Like, bring as light as possible, because it gets heavy by 12 o'clock. And by 2 o'clock, you're dragging or walking off the field, and your team's going to lose because of it.
Pistols get lost, shotguns get outgunned. It's not worth it. Bring your most reliable.
Bringing 100
automatic.
grenades, I recommend, because that could be fun. Actually,
But bring your
depends on the
shotgun
rule.
if you're going to stay overnight, because we're going to have the pistol and shotgun game next day.
If you're planning to do Dead Blood, yeah, you want your pistols and your shotguns. But for main event Bad Blood, shotgun you're going to get outgunned. Pistol you're going to lose it.
Should I start playing airsoft? Absolutely. Absolutely. But
wait. Do you like a hobby that you're going to spend a lot of money in and feel really out of shape? Go for it.
All right. Let me just say a couple things going back to the weight thing. So I run just a battle belt and an H harness with a hydro pack, 1 rifle, and 6 mags, and I carry some extra BBs in my back. That's it, because you want to be lightweight. Wear short sleeve shirts. Try to keep
if you can.
If you can, I mean, look, you have plenty of time between now and then to get your faction colors, short sleeve combat shirts. You'll thank me later. It's going to sting a little bit when you get shot in the arms, but you won't heat cat. I will never heat cat up there because that's my winter. But everybody else will. And yes, I'm going to be this. I'm going to start off as the zombie king again. I'm going to start killing people as we still go through, as long as Moondog will have me. But I am bringing a little bit more armor this time.
So for those players who haven't come out to Bad Blood, yeah, to reiterate what everybody's been saying, is it's not like your typical airsoft game where you'll have a base to put your stuff down. Like your extra BBs or a backpack or something. I designed this game so that you will get to explore the entire field, all 100 plus acres of it, because you're encouraged to, because you have to look for your objectives. So there's no place to put stuff down. So travel light, play light. Yeah. In that respect. All right. Should we get into the new things that we're planning? I think that's important. There are some changes, especially for those of you who've played in the previous years. The big one is we're switching over from FPS measurements to joule measurements, and that's why we made a big deal about posting that. We're going to be measuring it, still using our chronos and using chrono BBs, but we're using 0.32 gram BBs, and this is to address a lot of issues that have come up with HPA guns in terms of joule creep. And I'm not actually the best person to be talking about that, since I don't run HPA. But I don't know if Joker or Ian, you want to talk a little bit more about joule creep and why we're switching over to.
Yeah, that's. I don't run HPA either, and Cardello can vouch for it. I've gotten a lot more old school with my style. We primarily focus on Vietnam style events. So I run a belt and suspenders for all of my gear. Joule creep is basically, Mark, please correct me when I'm wrong, is as everything starts to heat up, the gas will expand a little, I guess, differently, and even though you might have chronoed within limits, and I'm gonna channel Virtue for a second. What does he say? FPS is a guideline, not a goal. or something like
Yes.
that?
Yes, there's a limit, not a goal.
There's a limit, not a goal.
not a goal.
I'm going to correct you on one thing. I'm pretty sure jewel creep is when your gun has a higher total muzzle energy with a heavier BD compared to a lighter BD.
But I thought that heat could slowly increase FPS. No.
Well, it can it can increase the pressure and everything else inside your tank and increase. So if it's cold outside, you can be shooting lighter if you chrono when it's cold as opposed to when it's hot outside. I'm only doing the basics. I don't really run HPA. I run AEG, so I don't have to worry too much about jewel creep.
Yeah, Brad just parroted exactly what you just said. Jewel creep is when your gun has a higher total muzzle energy with a heavy BB compared to a lighter BB. Okay, so we're chronoing with 0.32
Heavier BBs.
grams.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you have to use 3.2s. You can use whatever you want.
You can use 0.2s, 0.25, 2 3s. Yeah.
It's whatever you want. But yeah, we're gonna be measuring everyone with 3.2s. That way we know there is a hard limit there, and it's easier for us to kind of judge what everything is going off of.
And we're basing a lot of the limits. I mean, you can do your conversions, and there's conversion charts online in terms of from FPS to joules. But we're trying to one way to make things easier for those who want to get in more hardcore milsim. We're trying to match our limits to a lot of the other milsim producers like John Liu and American Milsim. So that's one of the other reasons why we've moved over to joules. And we can go. We'll revisit this hopefully when Virtue can join us for one of our weekly, because we're going to start doing this on a weekly basis up until Bad Blood starts. So he can answer a few more questions, especially about HPA, since it seems like none of us here tonight are HPA guys. So there you go. All right. Next topic. The next thing that we're for changes for this year for the zombie game. That's the one I run for fun on the Sunday morning after the main game for those who either want to come back to the field or are staying overnight. It's a zombie game that ties into a little bit of the theming from the previous day's Bad Blood game, but I wanted to bring it more back to old school airsoft for those of us who are old enough to remember, where it was primarily low power Tokyo Marui AEGs and Springer guns. So it's still going to be a lot of fun. Plus, it's also, since zombie games, more often than not, you're going to get turned into a zombie. And honestly, being a zombie, you'd prefer people weren't shooting you with higher power rounds. So it behooves you and everybody who's playing in the zombie game to have a slightly lower FPS limit. So that's the reason why I'm going to be a little more restrictive this year versus previous years about what kind of gun. So I'm really encouraging everybody who comes back for the zombie game to bring their Springer pistols, Springer shotguns to the game only. Now, we'll have, for those who are staying over, we will have regular skirmish games. So the guns or the replicas you used for Bad Blood on Saturday, you can bring those same ones for later in the day. It's going to be just like a regular airsoft games. But for the morning zombie game, it's low power Springers, really. If you have Springers, pistols, shotguns. All right.
So let's go over. We have a few more comments come in. Will it be? All right. I guess you just answered that one.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. About water stations on the player field, we already addressed that. See this guy. We've talked about having more and more of those set up there.
Oh yeah. So can you bring up the map?
No.
Okay.
Ask nicely.
Go look at your player packet.
Everyone.
Everyone, please look in your player packet. You'll find the first page is a map. So great.
So there's water. All right, I can zoom in further.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 water stations scattered throughout the field. We'll have starting locations. So this is another thing what we were talking about, that your starting location is no longer a spawn. So, but all the starting locations will also have water jugs to refill your water containers. And if it so happens that you come up to a water jug that's nearing empty, please let an embed know so that we can let the field know to send out a quad to refill it. So don't wait for it to get empty before you let somebody know. All right.
All right, a couple more questions just came in. Do you need to stay at the night to at the field to participate in the zombies? No, you do not. I can answer that one.
Just don't lose your wristband.
Yeah, just don't lose your wristband. What about AEGs over the limit? How do you lower the power? Is changing the spring the only way to do that? As far as I'm aware, yes.
That's
If
the most
it's
consistent
AEG,
way.
yes. HPA, you can mess with the regulator before we lock the regulator. But if it's an AEG, yeah, spring swap's going to be your only option.
That's your best option. I mean, there's depending on how much over limit, there's things you can do. I mean, and I've done this for my own, but I don't recommend this.
I already know where you're going with this, and spring compression only works for so long.
So, I mean, weakening the spring?
Yeah, it only lasts for so long.
Really? Because mine never came back.
You compress the spring like after a half cock, and
yeah, for like a week, and it never.
Right.
I mean, it never got back.
That sounds like you should see a doctor.
Yeah, so, okay, so what Ian and I are talking about is, you're using your AEG correctly. You're supposed after putting it before putting it away, you're supposed to run it in semi a couple of shots so that the piston isn't accidentally pulled partway back if you're running it full auto. But what you can do is do that intentionally, is run it on full auto and just sort of time it. You can tell you'll if you run it and have it cocked back and leave it like that for a couple of days. Try it for over the weekend and then test it again. But again, you'll have to have a chrono to be able to test this. But it's just like any kind of spring. If you keep it compressed long enough, you weaken. It's like
let me just put it this way.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Bring a different gun. Always bring backup guns.
Yeah.
Bring a secondary gun. I bring usually for bad blood. I bring 3 or 4 rifles with me. Most because I'm traveling, and I want to make sure my people have what they need. So bring a stock gun. You should be fine.
You've got a month.
Yeah, you have a month.
Gosh, it's only a month away.
Is JagArms shotguns allowed? Yes.
I'll see why not, as long as it's within the FPS limits.
Are green gas pistols still allowed?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, this is a common question on the groups. CO2 pistols are not, because they hit too hard, and they are not the spirit of what Dead Blood is all about.
And there's no regulators on them really, especially the little canister ones. There's no way that you can.
Green gas pistols are allowed for Dead Blood, but again, the spirit of the game is old school, close quarters. Don't be that guy. When in doubt, don't use it. You want to participate in Dead Blood, but you don't have a replica that is suitable. Be a zombie. It's fun.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, you would think, oh, I don't want to be a BB magnet. No, it's fun.
It's fun chasing guys.
I
get volunteers, and just want to let everybody else know. If you want to be a zombie starting off, yeah, just let me know. We get volunteers to start off as zombies all the time. So yeah.
I'm gonna be King Zombie. I'm gonna go run in there and start. What about the hater? Oh no.
Lovely gun, but not for Dead Blood. Bad Blood main event Saturday. By all means, knock yourself out.
So is the sidearm I choose, and the only weapon I bring to the game.
Hater's
one's
awesome.
What's hater?
I'll show you.
It's a gigantic monstrosity of.
It's like a super cheap 8-round revolver.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I think it's like $50 or $80. It's like the best bang for your buck.
Yeah, it's awesome. You got a Stormtrooper one? Oh,
man. My advice is the best gun to run at Bad Blood. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's so much fun.
The problem that comes up, Tyler,
get a 3-shot shotgun. Those are always the best for Dead Blood.
The problem with the
10-round.
Yeah.
The haters is that they do hit much harder than 300. They can hit much harder, especially with the fresh canister and everything else. I've been shot one of these before, and I was like, "Ow!" and I started bleeding from like 15 feet away. It was croning at 5:30.
Yeah, the name is definitely not a misnomer.
Okay.
People hate to get hit by that thing, and it's so much fun.
But if you shoot like 8, 9, 10 rounds beforehand, it actually brings it down to a much better FPS level. But it's still they're fun. Like I said, I got 4 of them.
It defeats the spirit of Dead Blood. Does it look cool? Does it look like something you'd see in a post-apocalyptic movie? Absolutely. But it defeats the spirit of Dead Blood. Bad Blood, go for it. Not Dead Blood.
Can I use a lightsaber as a melee weapon?
As much as I would like to, no, sorry.
Yeah, melee weapons are a weird subject when it comes to for this. There's just so many people, you know.
Can we please address the fact that if you get touched by a zombie, you're in fact dead and a zombie?
Yes, and we're not allowing halberds, so there are pikes. So anytime you're at melee distance, your touch distance.
What am I going to use?
Okay, there's a question on there. Where did I miss it? It's about side weapons. So we did cover this. So, but we'll, if you came in later and didn't hear the answer earlier, for your side weapons, as Cardelis said earlier, travel light. So you're going to be walking around all day. You'll have to store it in your car if you have a backup weapon, but don't carry it. None of us recommend carrying a lot of extra backup weapons because it's just going to weigh you down and you're going to hate it.
I think
after a
every
couple
year
hours.
we find at least 3 pistols that fell out of hip holsters or side holsters.
Yeah. Sidearms constantly get lost. I don't know if the player's talking about a whole extra rifle. Yeah, like Moondog said, leave it in your car. You're allowed to leave the field and go retrieve it. Just use your radio to find out where your squad is at that when you come ready to come back in. Now that being said, yeah, a lot of you are gonna bring multiple guns with you to the event. Chrono everything before the game starts. Preferably come Friday night if you can.
Bring 2 guns to Chrono each time, please. So Chrono is not jacked up with somebody bringing 30 freaking guns.
Okay, fair. My point is don't expect to get chronoed at 1 o'clock in the afternoon because you had to go get your other gun. Chrono it before the game starts.
And guys, tag your sidearms if you're bringing them. Write your name on them, so that way we can. You should probably tag all of your stuff on there, so at least you can.
Yeah, put a name on there because we will have a lost and found. But put a name, put some at least initials or a number or something on all your mags, all your sidearms, as much gear as you're going to carry on you, especially your phones and keys, because sometimes we'll get that turned into lost and found as well.
Can we address Jay Rodriguez's question? This is my favorite topic.
Yes. Ghillie suits. You can. We allow them for all the factions. You don't have to have a black ghillie suit for black shirts, but
your underlying uniform must match.
Way to give in to peer pressure, guys.
But
I shoot my own team if they don't match. I'm just saying. You're a black shirt, but you got ghillie green.
But we don't recommend them.
Favorite conversation piece.
Yeah, don't wear a ghillie suit. It's not a good idea.
Bad Blood is designed to be constant movement. The idea of a ghillie suit is to lay stationary, become invisible with your surroundings, and take pot shots at people. You've now just become a lone wolf. You've gotten disconnected from the rest of your team, and since they're constantly on the move, you have no idea where they are.
And if you choose to run with your team, your own team might shoot you in the back just because you're 100 feet ahead of them because of the long column. Like, oh, look, there's green. Shoot. And
Absolutely.
Friendly fire counts, unlike in the U.S. government eyes.
So ghillie suits are allowed. They are highly discouraged.
Safe for tribals.
All right. Let's see. I love this one. This is like my thing. Do you recommend bringing sights? I always say no. Watch where your BBs are going, because just because you're looking down a sight does not mean you're hitting anything, because your sight might be zeroed when you're looking at your targets in your backyard or anything else. But as soon as you get out to this location and the wind's blowing, your sight might be here, but your BBs are going over here. So I personally say don't bring a sight.
I would say if you don't mind it potentially being broken from all the BBs flying at it, go for it. If you spent $500 on it, keep it on real steel, not a BB gun.
Get something from like Faiachi, which is like $20 cheap, and like, oh, I could.
Or put a vortex on it. As long as you don't lose it, they'll replace it if you drop it or
just
get it broken.
Walk your targets.
Yeah.
you can see where your little white pellets are going. So, like,
wow.
I know you are a trader, sir. You are in fact are a trader.
I was begged to go to the black shirts.
Yeah, I had
the only way we were able to get a new CO for black shirts.
I had a hand in that too. I had to put Steve where he was going to best be utilized. Marxus is an always good hand with Joker and Todsky.
I'm just going to say
needed some help with the quality.
I just want to say this will only be for Marxus ever. It does not get used for the black shirts.
The only thing I hear whenever Cordello speaks right now is trader, 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 trader.
I see a comment.
I'm
from,
not a CO.
Smurf.
I do too much hood rat shit. I am not a CO. I will definitely direct traffic, but I'm not a CO. No, in all honesty, it was really funny last year, because I said my goal was to get every single CO I could and knife them. I even knifed my own CO. It was funny as hell. The only one that escaped me, and the only reason why he escaped, because I thought he was already dead, was the Deus Ex black shirt, Deus Ex CO. I thought he was already dead, so I didn't get a chance to knife him. But I did take out their pool noodles, so.
Good segue.
Right. So for chrono, some of the other questions. Anson's got a question about chrono tags. All the guns that everyone is bringing to the field will have a specific color zip tie, and you won't know what color the zip tie is going to be until the game day, because that's how we keep everybody honest. So if you've gone through chrono, your gun will have that specific color of zip tie, and they're going to be odd colors. So you won't see white zip ties or black zip ties used as our chrono tag. But that's how you can tell if a gun's been tagged. And we will have spot checks throughout the day by embeds who
we had to do that last year.
Mm-hmm. So if you have, here's the thing, we have a game staff with chronos out in the field. So if you come to a situation and it happens where you're questioning, hey, that guy I got hit, that feels way too hot, or their guns shooting really fast, it sounds really fast, get on the radio, call an embed, or if you see one of the embeds nearby, just tell them, hey, could you spot check that guy? And they'll be happy to go, bring their chrono, spot check their weapon, and make sure that they're legit. And of course, check to see if they have chrono tags on their weapons.
Yeah, and there's no animosity with asking for a player to be checked. There is going to be a problem if you start, screaming and barking orders at us to check. No. You start barking at us to check this guy. He's lighting people up. He's too hot. Okay, well, you know what?
So we would rather have you call us in.
You might help. You might be a lot closer than you think you are, and you're getting hit. They're like, oh, he's shooting too hot. Well, maybe you're too close. Maybe his rate of fire is a little high, but he's still within limits. Ask, don't demand. That's kind of where we're at.
And don't yell at the other guy until you
So
get some help.
Gonna have no miniguns this year.
Okay, you want to play this game? All right.
Oh, we're gonna be doing that? I got an entire wall, sir.
All right, boys, settle down.
I
just want to make sure we're not missing any questions here.
Oh, is that it? Is that it?
Don't mind us, folks. We're just having a pissing contest now.
All right, I got the sword. Let's go.
All right. So Joker. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. So Joker said pool noodles. Do we want to go down that rabbit hole?
Well, I don't touch no pool noodle.
Nobody does anymore. That's my point.
I got a pool noodle back here too. The pool noodle from Bad Blood. So
triage.
Okay.
We want to explain triage.
So we will something new this year is that we are removing the stationary respawns, which previously was your starting location. So though you could this year we are adding a second mobile respawn point. And to for those of you who haven't played Bad Blood, you will have an area where all the dead players in your faction will gather, and that's near your CO and the main army, and it'll be overseen by one of the staff embeds. We will have a pool noodle as the symbol of where that gathering point is.
Flags.
All the dead players will gather there.
Flags.
And I'm sorry?
No pool noodles. Flags.
No, the flags are going to be carried by the embeds. That's their symbol for being embeds.
And their symbol for establishing where the triage is.
Okay.
We had this argument.
Okay, let's
put a flag in a pool noodle. Got it.
All right. I'm perhaps misremembering this because I don't see much difference between having somebody carrying a flag and carrying a pool noodle, other than just the aesthetics of a flag. So if somebody's carrying a red flag, how is that any more visible than a red pool noodle?
It's guys, you want to weigh in? You're the embeds.
So I would say it like this: when it comes down to actually carrying a flag, that's something that you have to hold up in your hand. Where most of us that were carrying, well, not me, but all the other guys that I knifed that were carrying pool noodles had them in their backpacks and it was sticking upright, so they didn't have their hands were free. They didn't get arm fatigue doing this. So that's what I would say would be the reason why. But what you could always get is those little soccer ones, like
that's what we're talking about. Yeah, that's where we're yeah.
That does not have a handle that can go yank. Is it extended?
Yeah.
Handle?
No, but you don't need to. You can't raise your hand up and say we're over here and then
but that's the thing is that are we going to ask a player to have their hand up waving the entire time for the 10 minutes?
No, because you don't need to wave it the whole time. Once players see, okay, this is where we're assembling.
Yeah, but there's always going to be new players coming in. That's
also,
the thing.
Sonic, also remember too that if they don't have a visual aid to see where they are, the person that is the pool noodle guy might get flanked from behind and shot to hell. And it's like, I'm the damn pool noodle. Sarah really hated that. She got shot in the butt.
So I'm just afraid that if we give the folks short soccer flags, like the guys who the embed says, hey, you're the triage.
Pipe.
He's going to be waving it for like a minute, for a hot minute, and then get tired and put it down. And then nobody's going to see. They'll see, oh, there's a gaggle of guys, but I can't tell if it's the triage. So I'm just going to shoot those guys because they don't have the pool noodle or they don't have a flag waving around.
I understand what you're saying. Here's the argument. Now, the idea of the triage is once a player is hit, and they basically form a new triage, and the embed gives them whatever the signal is, right? That's the idea. Steven, back me up here. That never actually happens.
No, usually an embed's stuck in.
The embed just mans the triage.
For the most part.
So do you as the embed want to be holding the flag the entire time, going like this?
I am
the triage.
I think having both is actually a good idea because I always stick the pool noodle in my back, so it's standing up well above my head. But then just something shiny to wave to all the cats that are running around could be also useful.
Especially considering last year that we were being shot at our embed and we're waving dead rags and stuff and yelling.
That happens every year.
Yeah, so I'm all for removing the yellow vests, which you could have waved around, which a lot of guys did, and replacing those with yellow flags. But now I don't want people to think every time they see an embed waving a yellow flag to show that he's an embed, that's the triage.
Okay, that's fair.
So
That's fair.
that's why I'm thinking just keep the pool noodles as the triage, but give every embed a yellow flag.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as long as the embeds don't mind carrying the pool noodle. Because the feedback I got was guys don't like carrying it because it's a tree branch blocker and it's a pain in the butt to have to sling it and unsling it. But if they don't have a problem, I don't care. I just want
you're talking in lieu of wearing a vest. I would definitely prefer a flag so I could whip that bad boy out being like, I'm bringing in a 747 to stop the shooting.
That was my thought of, okay, you're coming up on an enemy spawn because you need to discuss with somebody. I'm coming, leave me alone. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to have those flags to all the embeds this year.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just still not sure, how if we had a red flag, a small flag as the symbol for the triage, how that's better than a pool noodle.
Okay.
So,
I mean, like I said, if the guys don't mind a pool noodle, then they don't mind a pool noodle. I was trying to advocate for the embeds to make their already stressful job a little bit easier. But if they don't mind,
all right, I'll do this. I'm going to put a poll up. If you guys want the flag, I don't care. I mean, honestly, I want to make it easier for you guys. You want that? I don't. I mean, you want a flag
been an embed
and
for
a noodle?
he's been an embed for 10, almost going on 10 years. He wants both.
Don't make me feel old like that.
Well, I'm serious though. You understand the role of the job and what you need to do to keep your players safe and in the game.
Yeah.
If you feel that ditching the vests, which a lot of guys don't like because it's whatever, trying to get it on, whip out a flag. Okay, I'm doing something official here. Great. And if the pool noodle is what helps you to rally your troops and keep everybody cohesive, okay, who am I to mess with what works? I'm just trying to help.
I would definitely say the pool noodle is what everybody's used to looking at. I joke around a lot on the stream, obviously, but I would say having a flag for the embeds to wave and so they can go over and address an issue, that's something I would put in my dump house for sure.
Okay, so Joker,
We're jawing at each other.
Can you pull up the graphic? So this is this is a change that we're having this year. All the embeds are getting yellow flags. So if you could bring that up.
While you're pulling it up, I'm going to answer Anson's question. Is the triage the same as the mobile respawn? Yes.
Yes.
That's just the name the triage is where you will meet with your other dead compatriots for 10 minutes. You will rehydrate. You will get chrono spot checked. You will reload. You will not talk about what you just experienced. And you will wait until your 10 minutes is up and you will rejoin as reinforcement troops.
Frankly, that 10 minutes, like halfway through the game, is like refreshing.
Yes. Yes.
Anson asked a good question too about embeds playing in the actual game. So the role of the embed is player staff. We are playing in the game, but anytime a question or issue arises, we stop playing and deal with it. Our main job, our first job as an embed is to make sure the game is running smooth, everyone is having a good time. Our second job is to actually play the game. So we do not pay for the game. We are staff, basically. So any issues, any questions, grab an embed, we deal with it. There's been times where teams have been separated, or one year where I think it was the Black Shirts CO could not be connected or was off field. And I just said, all right, I'll jump in as the Black Shirt CO. I cleared it with Tom. I cleared it with Ian. And for the last hour of the game, I was a CO for a completely different team.
I will be back in a few minutes, guys. I just had
I hear kitty cat.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
No, I remember that vividly. Yeah, you stepped in exactly as you're supposed to do. Players required leadership. You knew the role. You took it on. Doesn't matter what team you're actually assigned to. You're there to run the game. And if running the game means you need to, become a traitor to your brothers and take on a new team, that's what you do.
That brings me to a point that I mentioned to Tom and Ian before. Unfortunately, Mark is not here. I guess I should wait for it. But having embeds no longer carrying main arms, only side arms, to make us more focused on helping run the game and helping run the team.
No, I'd been a supporter of that, and I wanted to bring that up to the embeds. I would, I haven't confirmed this, but I would like to do an embed heavy live stream next week, so we can
Sorry about
get
the mess
all
that's
the
here.
embeds
Okay.
together, and also give them a briefing, because there's some new embeds coming on for their first year as well. Just sort of give everybody a briefing, in a sense, a briefing for the new embeds.
Yeah.
All the
we
more
can discuss
that we
that.
should not have firearm or rifles.
Yeah, because I feel the point you're making is the staff participants of the game, be it embeds or even COs. Your day is so involved in managing that pew pew is actually secondary. So it's still your game to play, and it's still your team to help win, as long as you understand that your role is more to run and manage than it is to gun and win, right?
Yeah.
So if you feel that you can be an effective embed and an effective teammate with just a pistol,
You're step forward.
I think that's great. If you
Hey,
feel you
how's
can
it
be
going, dudes?
effective
Hello. Who we got there?
rifle and still do your job,
This is Johnny Wu from MOS Manufacture, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So met him at Airsoft Palooza. He came down to Miami down to Florida to do some networking and all that stuff. So we're gonna go out to eat soon, because you did say 9:00 and we're 7
Yes.
minutes over, just saying.
yes.
So
So, well, you know what? We'll wrap things up, because I just want to make sure that we answer everybody's questions. We'll answer them online.
We got 2 more real quick that we could probably cover over real quick. We got the one about the different color flags for each faction. No need, because that's an embed just letting you know, hey, I'm now in referee mode. What's going on? What can I help with?
Yeah.
right?
And then the other one, are radios 100% required at this game?
100% required. Please don't chat. You use the radios for team location, for emergencies, for relaying information back to your command element if you are a living player. If you're dead and you're in triage, absolutely stay off the radio.
Dead men
Yeah,
don't talk.
Your buddy went to the car to go pick up your extras. Great. Wait for him to come back. Don't hold a conversation. All you're doing is just tying up traffic. And it's harder for us to talk to each other, because
He's back.
we all know that the common radios that are in use these days pick up everything, transmit everything. So when there's too much chatter, it blocks the staff from being able to talk to each other to make sure everything is running properly. Yes, you need a radio. It needs to run FRS, GMRS.
Okay.
Don't use it to just talk to people.
So pick up a radio, go to Wally World, get a cheap FRS, GMRS, and I see a question that I have to go pick up my wife Vendetta. This is why we were planning on cutting this off at 9 p.m. So, but before we go, we need to just a couple of just really quick housekeeping. We are as soon as Joker is available. He's going. I said I would spin. I was giving away this swag bag, where I'm giving away prizes every week before Bad Blood.
Let me know what you got. Well, we'll talk about
Okay.
it.
Are we ready to spin this wheel?
Yes, let's spin the wheel. See who wins the swag bag.
All right, and away we go.
Okay, Joey, that was I feel bad that it just but good for you, Joey. you
It
just
just
slip
slid
that
up
in.
there.
So I will be. I'll contact you, and I'll be mailing this out this week. And if you didn't see it, I will be giving for this next week. I'll be giving away this. Well, not this one. A new Monstrum tracer from Monstrum. This is the one that I've been testing.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. My guest, he saw the Vorpal bunny. He picks it up and he pulls the trigger. There's gas in that gun. No BBs.
Always treat every gun like it's loaded. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Be sure to post your questions. We'll be there to answer them, and I'll try to wrangle as many embeds for next week. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Joker, for hosting this, and thank you, Sonic and Trudello for.
I'll do my typical extra. As always, I am Joker for Players Wanted. With me is Moondog, Sonic, and Cordello. Until next time, may your BBs fly true and your opponents always call your hits. Good night, and we will be streaming live tomorrow from the barracks at our normal date and time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on all the socials. So come on back, see us, join us, because we're going to talk about all things Airsoft Palooza. So again, until next time, may your BBs fly true and your